Here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is Marketing Fun with Mike, aka Mike Rudd, and you are tuning into this because you have purchased the efficiency recipe to become efficiency extraordinaire in your life. So I can't thank you enough. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I have a very special treat for you today. Not only do you have those 25 awesome steps to get 2 more hours in your day, but I have one of the best, most prolific sales bloggers and speakers in the entire world with me today. And he is going to be talking to you about how you can even ruthlessly prioritize more things in your life that will ultimately give you the opportunity to have a better life and to be more efficient in everything that you do. I am so humbled by the fact that Anthony is joining us for this program. Anthony, how are you doing tonight?
I'm perfect. Thanks for having me on.
It is my pleasure. So I'm going to give a brief background on Anthony. He's at thesalesblog.com. He writes an unbelievable sales blog every day, except he went to Tibet maybe 4 years ago for 10 days and took that off. But other than
13 days.
13 days?
Shame.
Other than that, he has been with us every day of the year. He is also a global speaker, and his work is second to none. Now, you might be wondering, why do I have him on the efficiency recipe and not the sales recipe that I'm going to be bringing out later in 2015? Well, that's because I read his blog posts every single day, and he had this unbelievable post on ruthless prioritization and how that's the way you have to do things. So I invited him on, and he graciously accepted. So I'm going to hand it over to Anthony right now, and he is going to give you the ins and the outs and his theory on how you have to ruthlessly prioritize in your life. So here we go, Anthony. Hand it over your way.
I love what we're doing here, and it's funny because you've promised people that they're going to get 2 more hours in their day. So that's a 26-hour day. So you're going to somehow have 2 bonus hours at the end of the day, totally breaking the space-time continuum, changing how our Earth rotates around the sun. Mike Rudd has the power to do all of these things. So you bought this program, and you knew when you bought it that there isn't 2 more hours in any day. You knew that something had to change. And this is my favorite part when people say, my problem is time management. And I say, your problem is me management. You have the same time that everybody else has. You're just not very good at managing you. And that's the only thing that you really can manage. You don't have the opportunity to stop the hands of time. They tick away relentlessly whether you want them to or not. I've been working really, really hard. And to write the blog post that Mike talked about, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I write before I do anything else. And I've got a ritual where I do some affirmations that I say. I do a little bit of meditation, sort of a light version of meditation, so state setting. And then I write, and then I get on the treadmill or I go outside and run. And I've got these things. How did I get the extra 2 hours? I sat down on December 27th with my wife. Sorry about the dogs.
It's okay. You got to walk. Some people like to walk their dogs for the extra 2 hours every day.
They could. So I sat down with her and I said, listen, I'm going to change a bunch of different aspects of my life right now, but it's going to mean I do things very different. I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to be in bed asleep at 10 o'clock. Now, that's a problem for her because she's the kind of person that will have a TV on. Well, I'm going to be asleep, and I'm going to get up at 5. I don't hit the snooze button. So other people hit the snooze button typically 3 times. It's 9 minutes. There's 27 minutes that you lost because you're not prioritizing what's most important to you. And for some reason, you think that 9 minutes more of sleep is going to be that magic sleep that allows you to be effective and have the energy and vitality you need for the day. And it's not true. You're smiling like that's total BS because it's not. You just have to get up. But I started writing at 5 o'clock in the morning because nobody wants my time at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is time that's devoted just to me. It allows me to do the most important work that I do every day. And this is a shift for a lot of people. They think, why do you get up and write every morning first thing? Well, first, my brain is clean. But second, sales and marketing is my first priority. I do sales and marketing before most people are out of bed. And people say, Anthony, how did you get 40 speaking gigs in 2014? I'm marketing and you're sleeping. I'm writing every day and you're deciding that you're going to do something else. It's our priorities are different. My priority is put marketing first, and the back end of the funnel takes care of itself. You think that you need to worry about the back end of the funnel, but nothing gets to the back end unless it comes through the front of the funnel. And I didn't get to make the laws of the universe. I just get to observe them. And I know that that's the only way that it works. It flows in one direction. So me management is about this idea of ruthlessly prioritizing. And when I say these things about what I do, it sounds like I'm a task-driven person. And at some level, I am. I have a task manager called OmniFocus. It's got my daily routine in it. I love the feeling of checking off the box that I accomplished the thing, and then the next task pops up, and I can check that bad boy off of there and keep going. And it feels good to do that. But it's really not about that, because my priorities aren't really about tasks. My priorities are about people. And so I start thinking about what are my priorities when it comes to people and the people that matter in my life, the people that are counting on me. I don't struggle to get out of bed because I know I've got a wife who's counting on me. I've got 3 kids. They're hungry. They need new shoes. They need cars. They want to go to college. They have all these things, and they expect their father to provide for them. So that's my first priority. So what matters most to me is not what, but who. And you have to put people first. So if you want to ruthlessly prioritize, you need to decide who really matters and what do I need to do to serve those people. So you think about your family, you think about your extended family in that circle, and you think about your friends, the people that you can make a difference for. And this kind of thing right now I'm doing with Mike. Mike and I have a relationship. And Mike says, Anthony, I need something for you. He's on my calendar just like that because he's important to me. He gets in Heather, who booked Mike for this, will tell you she gets to say no to a lot of people. But because of Mike's important to me, he gets to go first. And you have clients that require your attention. So when you think about ruthless prioritization, it starts with the question of who. Who do I serve? Who should I be creating value for? Who do I need to touch? Who is really going to touch me? And I've spoken about this a lot. On your deathbed, the only thing that you're going to think about is who was there for me when I needed somebody? Who was I there for? You know, whose hand was I holding when somebody needed somebody, really needed somebody? Those are the things that matter in this world. So those go first. I do the 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock thing when I do all of this work that I do, writing the blog and a lot of the stuff that I do around that, because it doesn't detract from the people who matter most. So people go, you write every day, what about your family? I do that so I can spend time with my family when they're awake. They're not awake when I do this, so I'm not stealing their time from them. In fact, even my dogs don't want my time at 5 o'clock in the morning. When I walk out to the kitchen and get a cup of coffee, they just look at me like, seriously, it's too early for dogs. Once you think about the who, then you can start thinking about the what. And this is the part where I see a lot of people confused. And if you're watching this and you bought a program like this, I'm going to guess, I'm going to speculate or hallucinate that you're one of those people. This device lives next to us. I mean, this is your alarm clock now. This sleeps next to your head every night. And the first thing you do when you get up is you put your code in, you pull it up, and the first thing you do is you pop up email, right? And it's nice enough to tell me I have 9 waiting for me right now. And it's funny because I'll get calls from people that say, did you get the email I sent you? And I said, no, when'd you send it? They're like, just now. Then why'd you call? Why didn't you just call me if that's what you needed to do? But if you're being honest with yourself, you wake up, you roll over, and the first thing you do is you look at that email. Because what's important to you, what you're saying is my priority is really other people's priorities. An inbox is someplace where other people attach their tasks to you without your permission. You never even agreed to the thing. Because if I have to respond to you, you've now created an obligation for me. Even if I have to respond and tell you no, you've created an obligation for me. What you have to do when you prioritize your tasks is you have to think about what's the most important outcomes for me to get? What are the most important outcomes to me for my family, for me personally, for my business, for my clients? And that's where you have to put your time. And to ruthlessly prioritize, I would recommend you do what's most important first every day, no matter what. You got a horrible client situation, which I have going on right now. I got a client that's absolutely off the rails, careening towards disaster, right? First call I make every day. And I call the client and he says, I'm sorry I call you all the time. And I said, dude, I called you because I'm thinking about you. You're important to me. We're going to talk every day until we get this thing under control. But whatever it is, you want to write a book, you want to prospect, you want to spend more time with your kids, whatever it is, that's got to go first. You have to give that the first priority because it's what's most important to you. When you look back on what you did for the day, you should be able to say, the things that I completed today moved me closer towards my goal, closer towards that ultimate direction, my vision of myself. And if you're doing things that don't do that for you, you have to stop doing those things and learn to say no. And this is probably the last and maybe one of the most important parts about ruthless prioritization. You just have to say no all the time. You want to say yes, but you have to be ruthless and say no. You don't have to be mean and say no, but you do have to be ruthless and say, in order for me to protect my time for the people that matter to me and for the tasks that matter to me, I have to say no to things that don't matter to me. I have a decently big profile on the internet, so I get a lot of people that reach out to me. We want you to look at our product, and we want you to give us your opinion, or we want you to write a guest post for us, or we want you to come on and do this thing. And for a long time, I thought, I got to do these things. I could help this person. I could make a difference. I could make a contribution. I could help somebody. But I learned very quickly that I would lose the time that I needed to do the things for the people and the tasks that matter most to my goals. So I've learned, and it's taken me time. This isn't something that's easy to do, especially for me, because I care about people. It's very hard for me to tell people no when I have the ability to give them something that makes a difference. But by saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So you have to do the math on that and say, what am I saying no to? And I was saying no to time with my family. I was saying no, I don't have time to spend with them because I'm busy doing this other thing. And I was saying no to client work that I could have been taking and making a difference because I was so busy, my calendar was filled up. But you have to say no, because you don't disappoint somebody when you say no. You disappoint them when you say yes and then you don't keep your obligation, or you say yes and you can't deliver what you really want to deliver. But the cleaner you can be about that, just ruthlessly saying no, and you can say it politely. You can say, I'm sorry, I'm buried right now. I can't give you that commitment. I wish I could, but I could recommend somebody else for you that could get you that same outcome, passing off that priority to somebody else who maybe wants it or needs it. But you don't disappoint people when you say no. You disappoint them when you don't keep your obligation at the level you need to. And then when you do say yes to things you should say no to, you disappoint the people who really matter. And that's not a great way to spend your life. So that's my pitch on ruthless prioritization. And I hope it makes sense. It's basically start with me management. You've got to take care of keeping the commitments you make to you. And the better you are at keeping the commitments that you make to you, the better time manager you're going to be, because you're a good me manager. Block off the 2 hours in the morning. I promise you, you want to hustle, you want to double what you're doing, you want to cut out and go on your own and build something, you want to hang your shingle up and start a business. 5 o'clock in the morning is a great time to do that work. I promise nobody wants you. You can get a lot done. And then figure out who matters and what your obligations are to those people. And you start there by saying, I got to take care of the who first, because ultimately that's all that's going to matter. If you get nothing else done, but you've got great loving relationships in your life, at the end, the scoreboard's going to look like it's in your favor. And then decide what needs to be done to help you get the outcomes and to help the people you serve get the outcomes. And finally, say no to almost anything that you can say no to that isn't going to serve you.
Beautiful, beautiful words. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks.
Yeah. How can people get more of that? Because that's just such a small snippet of the stuff you lay down every single day.
If you go to thesalesblog.com or you go to annarino.com, both will take you to the same place. That's the main hub for my life on the universe. That's the internet. And you can connect with me any way you want to there. What I would recommend, though, is there's going to be a box that pops up. Everybody hates those. I hate them too, but I really want your email address. If you pop up, you'll get my Sunday newsletter. It's the best work I do every week. It's long form, 750 words, but I hold myself to the standard of you should be able to act on it Monday morning when you get to work. So I give you something that's not necessarily on the blog, maybe work I've done with a consulting group or work I've done with clients that you can pick up and say, I can run with this thing right now and I can get a better result. So that's really the standard I hold myself to. And that's probably the best place. But you can also get the blog delivered to your email every day. You can connect with me, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever makes sense, it's there.
Great. Well, thank you again so much for coming on. And people, he might be short selling these blogs a little bit because the newsletter is his best stuff. I tune in every single Sunday morning, but all of his work, his podcasts, his blogs, I've seen him speak live in person. He does outstanding work. So listen to what he just laid down for us today on this and combine that with those 25 steps that I put together, and you will have those 2 hours without me even changing the space-time continuum, because that's
That's
going to be a
good.
lot harder for me to do.
That's going to be a challenge. I think you can do it though.
I believe
Any
it.
guy who says marketing fun with Mike, aka Mike Rudd, he's not Mike Rudd, aka marketing fun with Mike. You got it backwards. I love that.
Exactly. Well, somebody's got to put on the hot dog costume too, right, man?
That's right.
Thanks again, Anthony. We appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing everybody else dig in deep on this efficiency recipe.